Shalom. All praises due to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Racha Kwadash. Double honors to the elect, apostle, bishops, elders at Great Millstone at Ruel. Shalom to elect Aki out there doing this work in sincerity and truth, and not for vainglory, in season and out of season. All right, so let's go to it. Numbers, first chapter and the 18th verse. Okay. And it says, and they assembled all the congregation together, congregation of Israel, okay, which are you so-called Negroes, West Indian Haitians, Latinos, Native Americans, and Hispanics, and Seminole Indians, on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, by their polls. Now, what does that mean? That means you are who your father is. Okay? You know, because the man carries the seed. Okay? He carries life in him, and he puts that life inside a woman, and then the woman eats, the baby grows in her womb, and then the baby comes out of her womb. All right. So it says, declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers. So you are who your father is. Now we know there's a lot of race mixing, between the nations on the earth. We know that black, West Indian, Haitian, Latino, Native American, West Indian, Haitian men, Seminole Indian men, they may have sex with a Chinese woman or a Japanese woman or African woman or a white woman or an Arab woman, So what is the baby? The baby is who your father is. So if a black, West Indian, Haitian, Latino, Native American man has babies by the heathen women, they're still Israelites. Okay? All right? Now the brothers are in the know. They know that that's the case. And the few sisters know that that's the case of the elect. But you have a lot of so-called Negroes, West Indian Haitians, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, Haitians talking about the baby is mixed. There's no such thing as mixed. Okay? You are who your father is. Now, if a so-called white man has sex with a black woman, West Indian, Haitian, Latino, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian woman, well, that's an Edomite. Okay? All right? And yes, that did go on in slavery, because Yahweh Shai spoke about let the tares grow with the wheat. The tares are the heathens' babies by the heathen men, and the wheat are the Israelites' men. All right? So you'll have these gefilte fish eaters, the small hats. They'll sit up there and say, oh, you a Jew because of your mother's side of the family. But that's not going according to the scriptures. All right? You are who your father is. So, you know, just to let you know that, you know, see, our women of the 12 tribes, you know, you so-called Negro, West Indian, Haitians, Hispanics, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indian women, you know, you let the heathen men have babies by you, man. And those kids, they're going to be put to death first and foremost, and they're going to be slaves in the kingdom. And like the Apostle Ramlab said many years ago, you chocolate-covered tears, man, you're going to lose that color in the kingdom, man. You know? Because the so-called white man, he'll sleep with a black woman, West Indian Asian woman, and the kid will come out looking like a so-called black man or a black woman or a black baby, you know, male or female. But in the kingdom, he's going to lose that color, man. Okay? All right? He's going to come back of who he is. If you let the so-called white man sleep with you, I don't care how dark the baby comes out. Okay? He's going to lose that color. He's going to return back to who he's supposed to be looking like, the so-called white man. You know? And all the rest of you black, West Indian, Haitian, Hispanic, Latino, Native American women that lie down with these heathen men, man. You know? Of the other heathen nations, East Indians and so-called Africans and Arabs and Chinese and Japanese. Listen, those are a bunch of heathens, man. You know? You know? So you are who your father is, okay? I don't care who the black, West Indian, Haitian, Latino, Native American, Hispanic, Latino man, Seminole Indian man. I don't care what heathen women he lays down with. Those are still Israelites. Okay? All right? So that's all I wanted to say on that, you know? So, hey, if you lay down with the heathen men, black, West Indian, Haitian, Latino, Native American, Hispanic, Latino women, well, that's on you, you know? All right? Too bad for you. With that, shalom.